Citizens have been provided with facts and figures concerning the city's 1/2 sales tax and then the 3.5 million tax collection. Thankfully, the city is in a very good financial shape. As in the last meeting, it was said that they had a AA rating. Our city has benefited from the collections of those taxes, as well as paying for the bond issue used for the building of 2 schools. My question tonight, and I would like for you to bear in mind what I just read, is to how committed you are to seeing that the school system does not have to pay that $550,000 a year for 14 years. I would like for you to go on record tonight of where you stand in that matter.
I think that agreement was put in place by the school and the city back when they put the agreement in place. I don't know what legally I can do to change that. Now, I do know this, or I do feel this, especially with a crowd like this tonight. It'll be much larger when the time comes if we need the money. The city's going to give us the money. The city's going to work with us, and we're going to get what we need. The citizens of the city are going to make sure of it. We've always have.
I agree with what Doug just said. There's an agreement that has been put in place. In 2016, we'll have to deal with that. But right now, the most important issue I feel for the school system is getting the best candidate we possibly can for the new superintendent. And I'll be the first one to stand up if we need the money and ask for it. But I think there's an agreement that has been put in place. But that's in 2016, and I'm concerned about a superintendent this year.
I won't go on record to tell you tonight that, I'll stand up and fight. But what I will tell you tonight, and all the members present here, or the people in this audience present, I will look at it when 2016 come here, and if I'm still here and still alive, I will stand up for the right thing. I will not go to the mayor's office or the councilman and say, let's do this. Because my first thing of being here is not about me, as I said in one of the meetings. It's about the students in the school system and their parents.
I wish all this had been settled before it got to us 2 or 3 years ago. So we wouldn't have had the hard decision to make. But we were told in several meetings when we discussed this, that the city was willing to go along and to help out. And we were told this repeatedly, that they were willing, if it came time to be paying here and the city was doing real well, that they would help us. And so that's where we stood on that issue.
My position is pretty well known. I've had these discussions with Aaron Milner over a period of 2 years, and I would assume that he related to each one of y'all. The agreement, you can argue about whether there was a signed agreement or whether there wasn't. That really doesn't matter. The board passed it. There was a resolution passed. The city council passed it. So there's a debt owed. There's no doubt about that. My position has been all the time that if we got to 2016, if the economy was based on 4 basic things, and I'm just shocked that nobody has bothered to tell you these things. The first one was if the economy is good. Everything depends on the economy. The $30 million bond issue has got to be paid back. It doesn't matter whether Fort Worth closes or whether it doesn't. The city has that obligation. The school system, thank goodness, we don't have that obligation no matter what. Get back to my points. If the local economy is good, if the city is in relatively good shape in 2016, if the school system runs its business financially sound, and fourthly, if we keep our academics where they need to be, I don't think there'll be any doubt in the world that we'll get help if we need it. We won't get it, just because we've got $20 million in the bank. But if we have a need for it, I think the city certainly will work with us. I can't assure that, but my strong feelings indicate that, and that's my position. Period. It hasn't changed one bit in 2.5 years.
We were negotiating from a position where we didn't have any strength. I would say that the verbal agreement, and as I said in my open letter to the citizens of Enterprise, if I were superintendent in 2016, it wouldn't take a signed agreement for us to pay the $550,000. However, my question has always been, and it still remains, was that agreement fair? Was the agreement fair? I contend that it was not. When we were negotiating for money to build 2 schools, we needed the money right then to build an elementary school and a high school. We were catching flack all over town because we didn't have any plans. We were waiting to know how much money we had before we could make plans to build a new high school. And as everybody in here knows, it was in 2010 until that school opened. So my question has never been about an agreement. You know, we agreed to do that, and our board agreed to it. As I said at one of the meetings here, our bond attorney said that we should not sign the agreement because it was unworkable and because of several other reasons. He said the agreement, that in the final form that they sent to us, it was just really unworkable. It was almost hard to comprehend in some places. That was the stack of papers about like that they wanted the board and us to sign, and we never signed the agreement. But we made the verbal agreement. I have no problem with that. But again, was the intent of the city to make a profit? And I contend, the mayor and I have argued over this time and time again. But was it the intent of the city to make a profit, for them to make money off the destruction of 2 of our schools? And there, right now, it stands at $25 million that the city is going to make off the destruction of 2 of our schools. And that's by the time in 2029, by the time the school board pays $550,000 a year for 14 years, the minimum is going to be $32 million they would have made off the school system. Is that fair? I would ask the board, is that fair? You can say we made an agreement, but what were we going to do when we made the agreement? No, we're not going to accept that agreement because we're not going to build 2 schools. We don't need to build an elementary school. We don't need to build a new high school. We had to really take what the city offered us.